What's up guys, Chris Grant with Heavy Heads Records here. Just dropped a few records on Discogs. Thought I'd go through them with you. I do condition checks anyway, so I thought we just go ahead and get it done now. And that way when somebody wants them, I can shoot this video over. So I'm gonna get started with sneak preview. And as you can see on this one, it's got our play graded sticker on it. That means I've played through this one. You're gonna see why here in a second. And in case you guys don't know about this record, these are the guys that would later become King's X. So local Springfield, Missouri favorite here. Got the labels. Show you those real quick before we get to the gnarly stuff. Okay, so I don't know if you could see, the video is making it look way better than it is. There we go. You can kind of see some of that nastiness on there. Lots of scratches, lots of surface marks. See all that? I listed that one at good plus because it does play through. Ooh, look at that. Just gnarly. But this is a hard to find piece. And it's better to have a copy than no copy. So there's that one for you. And you can find all these on Discogs, of course. And you can get to that link down below in the description. And let's kind of go through here. Let's do this one here. Just a nice jazz record for you on Impulse. Pretty affordable, actually. It's on early Impulse. It's a gatefold. It's a little, cover's a little worn from age, which is completely understandable. Little tape here on the top, stuff like that. We've got, let's look at our spine. Got some fraying on the spine here. So not a great representation of this record either. However, the record itself is not too bad. I'm gonna say I put this one at VG. So good player too. It does have some surface marks. Let's try to excuse me, try to showcase this one here. Yep, right there. You can see it right there. The other ones are really light. They are there, but they're super light. Let me see what I did put on this, just so we can be clear. I actually, yeah, I said VG good plus on the sleeve condition, which I thought was fitting. So check that one out on our Discogs page. How about this one? This is cool. I listened to this one. Beautiful record. I can see why it gets what it gets. Beautiful record, beautiful cover. Journey to Enlightenment. And we got a little bit of writing on the cover up here. Barely, you can barely see it. This is stuff I like to get out of the way before it goes in the mail. A little bit of writing there, looks like, maybe. Muse Records out of New York. Let's look at that spine. Let's look at all the spines. I believe it had just a, yep, little bit of splitting up there. Nothing down here. And then it did have this splitting here, but it's interesting because it doesn't go all the way through, doesn't really affect much. So got an OG sleeve, generic. And here we go on this Muse record. That's side A. Now I've got VG plus on this one, and it deserves every bit of VG plus. If I remember right, it's just, yeah, it's just got a few little hairlines. It's got some paper scuffing back here. And actually under harsher lighting, I'm going to give this one VG. So I'm going to downgrade it. Primarily due to this light scuffing here. But I am, you can't even see it on the video. Maybe you can. But it's there. And I am, yep, there you go, right there. See all that scuffing? Yeah. Yeah. So I'm a stickler for condition. I want to make sure that when it goes out and gets to you, that you don't have an issue with it. You know what you bought. You know what you're spending your money on, because I don't like to send this stuff in the mail if I don't have to. And nobody wants to get a record that they, nobody wants to open up a box of disappointment, right? I would rather you see what you're going to get. I'd rather you not order. If you don't want it, then waste the time. But typically people want it. So it works out. Let me go ahead and edit this listing real quick. Shouldn't take me very long at all. Just want to make sure I get that down to VG before I forget about it. Okay, let's check this one out here. Another cool piece. I don't know much about it. The cover really stuck out to me. Let's check out the actual record. Now, when I was looking it up, there's a promo version out there, and this is not the promo. And I've got this at VG Plus all the way around, which I think is a fair grade. It does have a couple little surface marks. But my VG Plus is usually somebody else's EX or maybe low near mint. You can check out my reviews on eBay, anywhere else, and you're going to see that I really care about condition. So much so that I won't shut up about it. Okay. We got some Archie Shepp for you. Nice jazz record, super, super clean. Let's showcase that cover. It is not $7.95. But it does have the OG price tag on it. Got a little bit of... No, never mind. Tight shrink. Got a little looseness over here, I guess. Let's get it out. It's got a plastic inner. And it's also got... Wish this didn't have a little wrinkle on it, but it does. But it's got a little insert with it. And that's going to stay with it. So if you buy it, it is yours. It's going to show you some other cool jazz records to look out for when you go digging. You probably know them all anyway. Okay, let's check out this record. If you had any question at all about who this is, look no further. Oop. It's Archie Shepp. Now, it probably does need a little cleaning, but I've got it listed at VG Plus near mint. And some of these, I don't like to touch them. If they're dusty, sometimes it's better not to touch them. I can tell the difference between dust and a surface mark. And sometimes I like to let the customer clean it. So, I have damaged some really nice records before trying to clean them. Anybody else willing to admit guilt on that? All right. Good prices, fair prices on these, of course. I'm not going to give it all up. I do want you to go check out our store because there's more stuff out there too. So we got Art Farmer Crawl Space. Now I'll tell you what, this is just an observation, kind of funny. If you find a jazz record with somebody on it smoking a cigarette, it's probably going to be good. And I've also found that if they're smoking a cigarette on the cover and it's in black and white, it's even better. So check that out when you're out there digging. Now look, we got the OG CTI sleeve on this one. This one's just about perfect in my opinion. Real clean copy. I do have it at VG Plus. It does have just a couple little marks. And this one I was just super harsh on because some of these marks are actually, I think, just what I call whoosh, which are just kind of pressing defects that aren't actually anything at all. They're superficial, but I don't like any marks. If I'm going to call it near mint, no marks at all. I want it to look super glossy black. And I don't want anybody to be able to question it. And preferably, I'd like for there not even to be spindle marks on it if it's near mint. So I don't want any evidence of play if I can help it. Now there's some situations where a buyer was really, really careful, or not a buyer, an owner was really, really careful with the piece. They do have a spindle mark on the record, but they never scratched it. So that does happen, but not very often. All right, so we got this one, Funny Papa Smith, and it's just got a generic sleeve in there. What I think is cool about this one needs a cleaning too. What I think is cool is that it's got different colored labels on it. It's hard to mistake that one on Discogs. There is actually one, I think, with the purple labels exclusively, and also one with the blue. This is blue and purple, but on the Yazoo label. And I've got this one listed at, let me see, looks like VG Plus. So the VG again is going to come from some of that whoosh. I don't even really see any surface marks. So see that those superficial marks there in the light. You can kind of see some of that. But I mean, this is so clean, especially for VG. I was being super harsh in my grading. The original Howlin' Wolf. All right. And that's the sleeve I've got down at VG Plus. So that's about right for that. There's the spine on it, if you want to check that out. This record, I listened to this as well. Good record. And I believe this was Avant-garde jazz, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me out there. I'm still kind of a baby with jazz. I know a lot more than I did a few years ago, but jazz is a lifetime excursion, we'll say. Get that off of there. Lifetime journey, maybe is the better word for that. Love these labels too. That looks like something they would do now, but they did this in the 60s. So, really cool piece right here. Very cool, high demand on Discogs. Like I said, I've got this listed at VG Plus on the media. I don't know why I don't have a sleeve listed there. I need to do that, but I would say this sleeve is going to get, I could have sworn I listed it. I'd say with the splitting and everything, I'd still think it's going to get VG Plus. Might be a low VG Plus. I'll probably make a note of that, but it's a nice piece. Very nice piece. Yeah, it's got seam splitting. I'm going to give it VG. Yeah, got a little seam splitting. Appropriate for the time. I don't think it takes away from it too much. I'm not going to tape it, but I am going to downgrade it a little bit, which is another benefit of doing these videos. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. VG on the sleeve. And there we go. This is pretty cool here too. Not super high demand, but I thought the cover was cool. $7.99 at Waterloo when it was first purchased. And of course, slightly different price now. This one I've got listed at near mint all the way around because it is. So it's got this the shrink on it. Does have a little bit of dust on the record itself. But yeah, super shiny. Is that a that is a cat hair, not a surface mark. I'm sure any of you record collectors with cats can sympathize with me. You know, unless you completely keep your room off limit to your cats, or off limits to your cat, you're probably going to get a little hair somewhere. So nice spine on that one. Great piece here. And I've just got one left for you. I'm trying to keep these down to 10 per video, so that you can, you know, not get too tired of them and kind of digest it. Let me get this old tag off here. It's not even correct anymore. Sorry about that. Of course, it's going to be a pain since I'm doing it on the camera. Editing kind of gets pretty cumbersome. I do a podcast too, so there's so much editing for me to do in a week. While I'm talking about it, why don't you check out the podcast? It's a Chris Grant podcast. I do a lot with comedians. I'll interview comedians locally, some regionally, stuff like that. I did a road trip to St. Louis recently for a record show, and I'm looking to do more videos on record shows as I travel more this summer and stuff. So good content if you like that kind of thing. Last but not least, we're going to do The Police. Now this is an audiophile record, audiophile series from A&M Records, to be exact. And let's jump in here and check out the vinyl. It's in that audiophile sleeve, as you would expect. Now, I've got this one listed at VG and VG Plus, so I think the sleeve deserves that. Let's see where the VG lies in this one. If I'm not mistaken, side 1 is almost perfect, and then there was a surface mark on side 2. I think that's what got it. The VG Plus. Yep, couple surface marks on side 2 is what did it. I don't know if you can see it down there. But even these surface marks are so, superficial. It's right down here. Can you see it? There it is. See it? Yep, that's what I was talking about. Super, super light. Here's some more. Yep, see those? So yeah, just a couple little scratches, little boo-boos. And that's going to bring the price down on it, of course, too, but that means you get a good deal. Like I said, side 1 is almost perfect. So, well, that is going to do it for this batch of vinyl. Again, just check that link down in the description. It is going to route you to my website, then to Discogs. I want to make sure you can find me easily as well. So if you have any questions or anything about any of the stuff I've got listed, let me know. Please check out heavyheadsrecords.com. Do a little shopping on there if you want. Please check out the podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check out my socials, etc. You know all this stuff. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you next time.